If you have never played StarCraft 2 before and you're looking to get involved and find out about it, or if you're an old player looking to jump back in, then this is going to be the perfect video for you. We're going to be covering all the aspects of StarCraft 2 and what it has to offer, as well as giving you just an overview of everything that you need to know so that you can jump back right in and start playing again. I've been playing StarCraft 2 for I think 10 years now. It's been a very long time. It's really defined my life as a young adult. I've been able to travel overseas. I've had a lot of fun with it, being a professional gamer. But I acknowledge that there's new players every day coming to StarCraft 2, and I think people who are interested in looking it up online and discovering more. So in this video, I'm just going to be covering everything that you need to know. I'm going to be going over the 4 main components of StarCraft 2 and everything they have to offer. Now, StarCraft 2 is free to play. It has been, I think, for at least 5 years. Some of the stuff is behind a paywall, but it's not going to stop you from enjoying it. So let's just, without further ado, jump right on in. So the main game mode, and something that I highly recommend to any new player, is the campaigns. The campaigns are, I think, 25 mission long campaigns, single player experiences, at least episode 1, 2, 3, Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, Legacy of the Void. The Nova Co-op Ops, I mean, I haven't even bought it on this account, is a shorter, I think, 9 episode mission sequence, so a bit shorter, but they're all very, very fun and enjoyable, and they tell the storyline of StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is a multiplayer game, but the majority of people know StarCraft 2 from the campaigns. You can start off with Wings of Liberty, and Wings of Liberty is completely free to play. It's unlocked. I believe Heart of the Swarm, maybe the first mission is unlocked, but the rest you will then have to pay for. Same with Legacy of the Void, and of course Nova Co-op Ops. I would highly recommend playing or buying these things, when there's a sale on. And sales come about pretty frequently and you can get really good deals. So definitely just try out Wings of Liberty. If you're new to the RTS genre, it's essentially a tutorial as well, and it will get you up to speed, introduce you to a lot of the new units in StarCraft 2, how they work, how to build up an economy and army, how to attack. Of course, you have to understand that Wings of Liberty came out 12 years ago, so while it's a great experience, the balance isn't going to line up, and that's exactly the same with Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void. Legacy of the Void came out 7 years ago. It's the Protoss expansion, and it's not going to be up to date and balanced, but that's totally fine. It's still going to introduce you, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun trying these out. While we're here, I should probably talk about the 3 main races of StarCraft 2, and that's the Terran, the Zerg, and the Protoss. The Terran are the humans. I think they left Earth thousands of years ago to arrive in this sort of galaxy. They set up base, did their humanly things, and then eventually stumbled across the Zerg and the Protoss, and the conflict is really what has driven StarCraft 1 and now StarCraft 2. So they're the humans. They have tanks and marines, and they're down and dirty and gritty and real and all this kind of stuff. So that is a really good campaign to start with. It really introduces you to the game. The Zerg are the bug species. The alien swarm, hive mind sort of species. They overrun with mass units. You know, they take over a world, infest it. They're a bit creepy. I remember when I was 14 years old, I hated them, I was scared of them, and that's why I did not become a Zerg player. But over time, I've come to love the Zerg. They're really, really fun and cool, and they are really good at changing themselves, metamorphosizing, because that's their whole shtick. Finally, we have the Protoss, and the Protoss is the race that I play in this game, in multiplayer. And they're the advanced alien species. They are all, religious zealots and high-tech robotic units that shoot lasers and laser beams and fry everything within sight. They have powerful capital ships, a huge star fleet called the Golden Armada. They're really, really cool. Protoss, beyond any doubt, is my favorite, and I still get chills when I see some of the cutscenes from all 3 of these campaigns, but especially Legacy of the Void. So that's a quick introduction to the campaign. I highly recommend it to any new player. It will just get you involved. But if you're looking to play with a friend, and you're new to the game as well, co-op is the perfect place to start. In co-op, you select a commander, and there's a choice between, let me just count, 10, 18 different commanders. All of them are different. Some of them are Terran commanders, like Jim Raynor right here. Kerrigan is a Zerg commander. Artanis is a Protoss commander. Now, I believe that you have them all unlocked up until level 5, I believe. So past that point, you'll have to buy them and to really experience them further and get their full upgrades. But if you want to try them out, you can definitely just jump in for the majority of them. Some of them are completely free to play though. I haven't played too much co-op on this account, but you know, I have my Artanis leveled up to 15, and it means you can start getting new units on the field, new abilities, Jim Raynor as well, up at the max level. So this is a really good mode where you'll play with one other person. There's matchmaking, so if you don't have a friend, you can just jump into missions. And they're essentially standalone campaign missions where you're trying to achieve something, some goal. But it's really, really fun and interesting. And I think a lot of players who are new to the game, who've just completed their campaign, but want to do something a bit more engaging, co-op is really great. Especially because every week, there is a weekly mutation, which makes the challenges even harder. So, weekly mutations, they come in all sorts of varieties. There's a huge community out there that plays just StarCraft 2 co-op. So if you're interested in this stuff, you can definitely find those people online. It's a really good mode to get started with. But if you're itching for a bit of multiplayer, you know, you've seen people play esports of this game, and you want to compete, you're a competitive person, you want to compete against other people online, then you can go to the Versus tab and jump right into 1v1. So in 1v1, you get to choose what race you want to play, Terran, Zerg, Protoss, or random. And for all of the multiplayer systems, there's a ranking system. And it goes Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and Grandmasters. Excluding Grandmaster, which is a unique case, all of them have tier leagues of 1, 2, and 3. So Masters 1, Masters 2, Masters 3 in ascending order. So when you get started, you'll have to play 5 placement matches. This will calibrate your matchmaking rating. StarCraft 2 is very up to date with this. You will play people in the beginning to get a sense of your skill level. And over time, they say within 25 games, the system will know exactly what your skill level is and match you up against people who are roughly your skill level. So if you start playing this game and jump right into 1v1 and lose a bunch, don't feel bad. There is always someone worse than you, and the system just has to calibrate that. Eventually you'll get down to whether that's bronze, whether that's silver, that's totally fine and a great place to start. But you'll find people who you can actually match up equally against, and you'll start having more competitive games. So, like I said, you play 5 matches to get placed in a league, and the leagues happen each season. So occasionally every 4 months or 5 months, a season will reset, meaning that you have to play 1 placement match to get replaced. Your MMR stays exactly the same, that doesn't get reset. Just, you know, they want to give some end of season rewards, and really you can push for that next tier up towards the end of the season. If you want to play with your teammates and other people against other multiplayer opponents, you can jump into the 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4 team games. 2v2 is definitely one of the more popular ones. Then I would say 4v4, and then 3v3. But they're all very popular. You'll all be able to find games pretty quickly. You can either search, let's say you're playing a 4v4, you can search just as a solo person, and you'll be matched up with three other people on your team. So you don't need a party to be able to play this. But if you have a party, you can definitely jump in. You could play with 3 people total, and you'll have 1 random player in your 4v4. No AIs or anything like that, and you'll be able to compete against another team of 4. So the matchmaking is really good here. Team mode is also, I think, probably the natural progression from campaign to co-op to teams, and then into 1v1. If you wanted to do any training, there's also training that you can find under the Versus tab, where you can cover the basics of each of the races, as well as, I think it goes through, you know, some basic units, advanced units, and then everything, and just different ways how you build your economy and whatnot. So the training is also a great place to start. I will at this point just add as well, if you go to the bottom right hand corner, you can find the menu, you can find options here. This is where you change graphics, mouse, keyboard settings, all that stuff. Your hotkeys down the bottom. That's definitely something that needs to be covered in another video. You can also find a tutorial, and you can say, are you a beginner, are you intermediate, or are you a veteran? And I say veteran. And it will tell you and give you some stuff, and you play a game, and it actually just chucks you in and makes you start doing a bunch of things. So there's plenty to do for versus. The final main component of StarCraft 2, oh sorry, I should just add, versus is free to play, 100% free to play, but if you are coming in with a free to play account, you haven't spent any money on it, you're going to have to play unranked, first and foremost. You play unranked by clicking down here, and you need to get 10 wins across 10 days. Once you do that, you'll fully unlock ranked. But in general, I mean, playing unranked is a good way to just get started without the pressure. You don't see your rank, that kind of stuff. MMR still stays exactly the same, so that is no issue at all. And I actually just forgot as well, there's also tournaments that you can play. So in 15 minutes, when I'm recording this video, a tournament will begin, a 3-round tournament, up against other people that you can jump in and sign up for. You'll get people based on your league, so they'll actually be matched, and you'll get these trophies that you'll be able to show off. So tournaments is an exciting way just to experience the competitive esports side of things in the actual client without having to go off and sign up on an external website. So tournaments are also another thing that you can experience in this game. Next we have custom games, and custom games are varied. I'm looking at the lobbies right now, and these are games that you can jump right into and just have fun with. And StarCraft 2 has an amazing engine where people have made some amazing games, some amazing adaptations of famous games. For example, I could jump in and play Pictionary right now. Marine Arena is also another popular one. There's so much to explore. Nexus Wars is a famous one that I played when I started. Same with Special Forces Elite 5. All of these are very nostalgic games for me, and people are playing and hosting arcade games all the time. This is entirely free to play. If you wanted to search for these kind of games, you can also go to the arcade and search up these kinds of things if you wanted to host your own lobby. So plenty of stuff there. These are just some of the ones that I've searched up recently. And finally, there's custom campaigns. And it's not loading at the moment for some reason, but oh, there it goes. It sometimes takes a bit of time. But people have made their own campaign missions. And some of these are really, really well done and very, very interesting. And I highly recommend checking out. Honestly, maybe I should do a couple on my YouTube as well, because they are very, very interesting. But yeah, you can do even more custom campaigns if you didn't get enough through the normal Blizzard ones. Finally, I'll just touch very briefly on what melee means. So these are like your 1v1 maps. I'm very accustomed to this screen because when I play in a tournament that's external, I would go to this and make a lobby. So you're able to create a lobby and then add AIs, opponents. You could right click, add an AI. You can set your opponent's AI to whatever you like. You can change the difficulty from very easy all the way up to cheater. You can tell it what build you want it to do. All kinds of different things. So that's how you create a lobby, a custom game. If you just want to play against an AI very simply, this is how you would do it. Now, that pretty much covers everything in game in terms of what you can actually play. But there's a few more tabs. So we have collections. This is essentially the store, how they monetize StarCraft 2 now that it's free to play. You can get commanders or co-op. You can get announcers, which means that in-game you actually have these famous StarCraft 2 personalities commentate for you. It's really, really cool. You can get skins. You can go through and have a look at all these kind of different skins. They do change them quite a bit. I really like, let me find it. Where is it? The Archon. Why can I not find it? I'm blind. There it is, Archon High Templar. I really like, I think this one, we just have to wait for it. Yeah, Sarkon looks really, really cool. Anyway, there are so many different skins and augments and announcers and emoticon packs that you can get, and consoles in game which change how it looks, all this kind of stuff. You can have it looking like Warcraft 3. So much variability in how you can do things. Now, I just wanted to give you guys some examples of what you can do outside the game if you're looking for resources online, for example. So, a big community website, I'm sorry that this might be burning your eyes, is StarCraft 2, or is StarCraft Reddit. And this just has community news, community updates. It's a good place to go if you're looking for, if you want some help as well, but it's not the ideal place. Some would say that StarCraft Reddit is a bit elitist and a bit crazy, and they're probably not wrong, but there's a lot of cool stuff here and some funny memes, so if you want to just interact with the community and have a bit of fun, a perfect place to be. But if you're looking for, multiplayer help, you're playing 1v1, then I suggest going to all things Terran, all things Zerg, all things Protoss, and each of these help per race and give specific advice depending on your race that you play. They're also very, 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 very welcoming. They will happily answer any questions as long as you're kind and usually provide a replay. People really like it when you provide a replay. And I guess I can just cover right now. There's also a replay tab so you can go back and rewatch any of your old replays. To get them out onto the game, all you have to do is click show in folder, and then you can upload it to the internet. And there's various ways you can do that. A famous website you can use is drop.sc that allows you to upload StarCraft 2 replays. So nice and simple, very easy. Yeah, so the Reddit's a really great place to go if you're looking for any advice. Another place you can go to is Spawning Tool. And Spawning Tool provides build orders, which is essentially your guide through multiplayer games. For every race, every playstyle, whatever unit you want to build, you can find it here. So this is an amazing website. It also gives tips on co-op if you want co-op build orders. And you want to find replays from pro players, statistics, they have a lot. Spawning Tool is really great. Another community website that contains all, the live streamers at the moment, or local news, what's happening in the tournament scene, community threads, community discussion. TL.net, Team Liquid, is a very famous website, very historic website, and definitely come join the community here as well because they're quite welcoming. If you ever want any tournament news, you want to follow what's happening in the esports side of things, then liquipedia.net is the perfect place to look. It has all the information you could ever want. Statistics about everything as well. Player information. You can look up any player you like and start reading about them. All the tournaments upcoming. If you click on this, for example, we see GSL is coming up in 22 hours. You'd be able to scroll down the map pool, information about it, tournament, who's competing. I won't scroll down to the results because obviously that might be spoilers. But you can also find links. And so GSL, for example, is on YouTube. So you'll just click the GSL stream link. And when my Australian internet finally loads, well, it says there's nothing live right now, so it doesn't link to it. But that's how you would find the kind of stream links. So very, very simple. And if you want to know, if you like statistics and you like seeing who the strongest players are right now, you could look up something like aligulac.com. It has all the information you could ever need about the top players, statistics, balance reports, all this kind of stuff. Anyway, this was just a video to get you guys hopefully up to date with everything that's in StarCraft 2. I reiterate that it's, for the most part, free. You can play multiplayer, you can play the first campaign, you can play co-op, and all of the arcade for free, and it's actually very, very expansive. I think a lot of people don't realize this, that they think, oh, you have to spend some money to unlock everything, maybe they only give you a free trial. It's not like that at all. As a free-to-play player, you can experience a lot of this game, and truly it is worth it. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. If there's any specific questions, please feel free to ask down below. I'd be happy to answer, and I'm sure there'll be other people who will be reading the comments and answering as well. It's been a pleasure welcoming you to StarCraft 2 or welcoming you back. I'll do some more videos that maybe go over each of the races, just some beginner build orders, just so you understand how to actually play the game, because StarCraft 2 can be very, very confronting. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful time on the game. Bye bye, everybody.